Where the women's pet and the men's regret, where what you see is what you get and what you don't is better yet. John R. Heinis. And after a few weeks break, I'm back to bring the latest and greatest in Hudson County news. Now, obviously, there's a lot happening this week. So, for starters, we got a little bit of inter-party warfare between the Hudson County Democratic Organization. So what am I talking about? Well, Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop has decided that he is not going to be supporting Congressman Rob Menendez. Of course, he's the son of U.S. Senator Bob Menendez, and because of his ongoing criminal investigation, those federal charges that include acting as a foreign agent to the government of Egypt, Fulop has said that he's not going to support U.S. Rep Menendez, and there was some really fiery interaction on that. So we're going to talk about that, as well as the endorsements that preceded this whole social media showdown. So on top of that, unfortunately, some really sad news. A top LaFrac staffer and former Jersey City Corporation Counsel, he was also the head of the Municipal Utilities Authority, Jeremy LaFrac, tragically passed on Monday at just 44 years old. A really great guy, so we're going to tell you a little bit about him. And we're also going to talk about, of course, the Hoboken runoff election, the last election this year, and the winner's actually with me today. That's First Ward Councilman-elect Paul Presenzano, so we're going to tell you about that and a whole lot more right after this word from our sponsors.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Growing up can be tough on kids. So much is going on in the world that can cause depression or anxiety. Unusual behavior for more than 6 months could mean they need help. Don't wait. For real-time mental health support and counseling, call New Jersey's Children's System of Care. CSOC offers free mental health supports, substance use treatment, and services for intellectual or developmental disabilities for all kids up to age 21. Call now, 1-877-652-7624.
Hudson County View live and uncut. John R. Heinis. So first, let's start with the juicy political drama. So again, we got Stephen Fulop against Rob Menendez. Of course, Fulop and the Menendez family's feud goes back a couple decades. Way before he was the mayor of Jersey City, he actually ran for Congress in 2004, and he ran against none other than Bob Menendez. Of course, he lost decisively, but that springboarded him into the Ward E council seat in Jersey City. And, you know, while they have been political allies at times, in recent memory, Fulop and Bob Menendez haven't gotten along too well, and now clearly it's a full-fledged family feud. So, if you didn't catch it on Monday, Fulop wrote on X, better known as Twitter still, he said, "I'm not on board with supporting Rob Menendez for another term in Congress. It's time to move on. When the senator first got indicted, I thought maybe I could separate the father and son, and I even expressed that to Rob. As time went on, I realized it is impossible to do that, and the situations are tied together. It's not a secret that Rob got to Congress only because of his dad's influence, so it's fair to move on from Rob now because of that same influence." So this is a very messy situation, as I mentioned in the intro. First of all, the Hudson County Democratic Organization came out in support of Rob Menendez through Chairman Veneri. That was Friday evening. And then just a couple hours later, we saw Hudson County-elect Craig Guy and State Senator and Union City Mayor Brian Stack come out and give their full-throated endorsements too. And then before the end of the weekend, on Sunday night, we saw 8 other mayors get on board, and then 9 on Monday morning. And that last one was Secaucus Mayor Michael Gannelli. And the reason that's a little bit interesting is because the 9th district is actually includes Secaucus. So even though Rob is not his congressman, Gonelli actually ended up endorsing both Rob Menendez and Bill Pascrell. So with that little detail, it's a very interesting dynamic politically because you have Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala and you have Fulop, the Democratic candidate for governor, the only two out of the 12 Hudson County mayors that aren't on board here. And Bala is expected to challenge Menendez in the June 4th, 2024 primary. So with that, we don't really know what Bala is doing yet. Certainly, he's reported fundraising a boatload of money, $509,000 to be exact, and all signs pointed to him running prior to the HCDO getting behind Menendez. And if you guys recall, in September, Rob Menendez announced that he was going to run just hours after Bala floated the notion that he was seriously considering running. So there's a lot going on here. And the other thing, too, to also put into perspective, the HCDO has already backed Fulop for governor, and they've also backed Tammy Murphy, Governor Phil Murphy's wife, for Senate. And of course, we don't know if Bob Menendez is seeking re-election. Of course, now, given these endorsements, we're assuming that he's not, but nothing's been said outright. And Bala and Fulop endorsed Rob Menendez in 2022 along with the HCDO. So obviously a lot has happened in those couple years. So now with all that perspective in mind, Rob Menendez was happy to punch back. He said with respect to Steve, he has been running for governor unsuccessfully since he was elected mayor in 2013, always at the expense of Jersey City residents. Steve's absent from the city, whether spending time at his Rhode Island mansion, preventing people from accessing the beach, or traveling the state for his own political ambition has led to a housing affordability crisis, a broken budget, and 911 calls that go unanswered. Steve Fulop is right that it's time to move on from his failed leadership in Jersey City. And the things continued on X, again, better known as Twitter, so I'm not going to read the whole thing because most of you have probably already seen it, but it's linked there in the story. So we're going to see what Mayor Bala and Mayor Fulop decide to do here. So moving on, again, to a very somber and sad note, really wish I didn't have to be saying this today, but unfortunately, Monday evening, Jeremy Farrell, he's a former corporation counsel in Jersey City. He was a special counsel and senior managing director of government and community affairs at the LaFrac organization, and also a former executive director of the Jersey City Municipal Utilities Authority. Died of a heart attack Monday night at just 44 years old. And, I knew Jeremy for quite a few years. And as I mentioned on my Twitter page, just a really good guy, a fun guy to talk politics with, and, just really brought a great energy to the room. So this one definitely unexpected and certainly hurts a lot for a lot of people, myself included. So we heard from LaFrac Chair and CEO Richard LaFrac. He said, "It was with great sadness that I learned of the passing of Jeremy Farrell. Jeremy was a cherished member of our team and a cornerstone of the community at large, and he leaves an important legacy in Newport and Jersey City. My deepest condolences go to Jeremy's family during this unimaginably difficult time." And then also we heard from Jamie LaFrac, who's the vice chairman and managing director. He said Jeremy Farrell was the rarest of human beings, incredibly smart and kind, yet firm and respected by all of his colleagues. He was a beloved mentor to all those who had the honor of working with him. He will be missed more than words can express. And he also said for Newport and the LaFrac family, Jeremy's passing is one we will mourn forever. So certainly condolences with LaFrac and with the Farrell family at this extremely difficult time. Again, this one people are going to be feeling for a long time. And back on the political spectrum, as tough as it is to transition from that, we are going to talk about that special election in Hoboken. That was the first ward. That's the downtown district of the Mile Square City. We had Paul Presenzato against Rafi Cordova. And at the end of the day, Presenzato, who was endorsed by the anti-Bala faction, if you will, ended up winning 692 to 529. He was the top vote getter last month. And he actually improved on that a little bit this time around, at least on the margin. So I'm actually going to sit down with him in just a moment. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
County View live and uncut. John R. Heinis, and as I mentioned a few moments ago, today I'm joined with Hoboken First Ward Councilman-elect Paul Presenzano. Paul, congratulations.
Thank you very much, John.
And thank you for joining me right after a long night. So,
Yes.
now, so look, obviously, let's go back to, let's go all the way back to 2021. Obviously, you put your hand up and you went out there in a large race. You guys didn't have a mayoral candidate. You gave it the college try. Didn't work out. Why did you decide to stay involved for pretty much 2 years straight?
I think a little bit of my personality, no one likes losing. And I also saw that there was things that I thought could be fixed. And at that point, my wife and I looked at each other and I said, what do you think? And she said, if you want to make a difference, go ahead. I support you 100%. So at that point, we realized we were both at a point in our lives that I could take the time to do it. And I wanted to make a difference. I actually wanted to help. And so Mom and Dad, as I grew up, instilled in us and all of the family and my brothers and sisters is that you have to give back to the things or the people that helped you to get where you are today. So Hoboken has done a lot for me, and it's going to do a lot for me in the future. And I want to make it a better place for my son down the road. And if there is anybody else that comes into the picture.
Very good. Okay. Now, so more recently, just go back to last month, November 7th, obviously it's bittersweet, right? Obviously you're the top vote getter. You missed, beating the runoff by about 50 votes or so. So, just tell us about those emotions and how you're reacting after the results are in and what you're thinking when you're, going to bed that night.
I think a bit of frustration as anybody can feel, but it's the democratic process with the laws that were passed or the ordinances that were passed that we needed 50%. I do believe in those. I can now say that I have a better understanding of runoffs and some of the pros and the cons. But at the end of the day, it's something that you have to do it, right? Those are the rules. You stay within the boundaries. Yes, it's very difficult to do it again. It's difficult in the family. It's difficult in the town. I can tell you, I think a lot of people are probably tired of getting a knock on the door or a text or a phone call. But here we are. We're in a better place now, and we start going to work on Jan 1.
Fair enough. Now, obviously, the last week to 10 days or so really was getting pretty nasty. It was really some bare knuckle boxing type of stuff, which Hoboken is known for. But we did see a lot of that in November overall. A couple male pieces here and there, but it got pretty intense. If I may say so myself. They were talking about you did this illegal red hike. They were talking about big red hike coming in Marine View, and there was other things that's escaping me right now, but what are you thinking when this is all happening?
The underbelly of Hoboken politics showed its ugly head. I feel that, listen, in times like that, people will resort to any tactic to win. And I get it. It was something that we realized that was going to happen. I prepared my family for that there could be some accusations thrown, lies, no truths. I said they're going to paint me as a perfect person. They want to win. and this is what happens. It's okay. It's a part of it. They went low, we went high. And there was nothing that we went. I mean, I don't consider naming my opponent as a rubber stamp when he does have the mayor on his side. That is not, to me, a real attack. The stuff that was slung at me, it is what it is. You become numb to it. So at the end of the day, I think we did a service to Hoboken on how we reacted in our campaign to show that, good politics actually does have a place, and that hopefully maybe it's a direction forward that we can take in town to have a more positive outlook when we have elections.
Right. Now, actually, the first one, I can't believe it escaped my mind for a second. The allegations of vote by mail fraud at 401st, and the Attorney General was notified. And, you alluded to this yesterday in your victory speech, that there's probably going to be revisited in some fashion. You think that ends up being a lawsuit, or where do you think that's going?
I think it's up to the person that was named or accused. That is her decision. If there is impropriety, I'm full for an investigation. At this point, though, the Attorney General is not the body you comment on. It's the Election Committee that would take this over and look at it.
County Board of Elections?
County Board of Elections, yes. So at the end of the day, if there is something, I'm fully cooperate. But from what I know and what we've been told, we've denied any wrongdoing. And in fact, my opponent's side has said that, I believe in one of your articles, that Provenzano or the Provenzano campaign has nothing to do with this. But again, these are serious allegations. They have implications for the people that live in that building. And if some voices need to be heard, I think they should. But at the end of the day, the person named has denied all wrongdoing and is happy to back that up.
Okay. Now, when we were on the trail, this is going to take a little bit. So why don't we take the break now, and we'll talk to you in a moment. Folks, we'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Growing up can be tough on kids. So much is going on in the world that can cause depression or anxiety. Unusual behavior for more than 6 months could mean they need help. Don't wait. For real-time mental health support and counseling, call New Jersey's Children's System of Care. CSOC offers free mental health supports, substance use treatment, and services for intellectual or developmental disabilities for all kids up to age 21. Call now, 1-877-652-7624.
Hudson County View live and uncut. John Heinis, and I'm still here with Hoboken First Ward Councilman-elect Paul Provenzano. So, Paul, what I was going to say before the break, now, as you're well aware, your opponent, Rafi Cordova, he is the chair of the Rent Leveling Board, and a big part of his campaign was rent control. I mean, we saw online some people basically said he was a single-issue candidate. Nonetheless, whether you believe that or not, people said this is a guy that's going to stand up for renters. He's a renter himself. Paul doesn't care about renters. I'm laying it out in layman's terms. But what do you think about that mindset that was going on in this race?
I did feel that my opponent kind of was a one-issue candidate. We covered the variety of topics. Rent control is a part of Hoboken. It's been. I ran in 2021 with 2 rent control advocates. One that supported my opponent, and Sheila Brennan, who supported me this time around. That was a conscious decision. So for me to say that, or for them to put words in my mouth that I don't support rent control, that's not true. The concern that I have is some of the decisions made by some of the vetoes that the mayor did of some of rent control issues that were passed by the council. is going to have implications. And that's my biggest concern, is that rent control could change as we know it, and maybe come as quick as the spring, there could be a referendum. So that's my concern, is that when you have issues, hot issues like that, and people get together to work on it, you get a solution, that's a solution that's supposed to come into play, not a veto. But overall, everybody runs for a different reason, and they have a platform on different things. My opponent is the rent chairman of the rent board. I'm hoping he continues to do that. He's made some differences, and I think he's got some things that he's looking at coming up, from what I hear, that will be positive for the community.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So the Mile Square Taxpayers Association, their director or their president, Ron Simon-Sidi, his exact title is escaping me, but he said that they're going to go to referendum on rent control. So if they do it, as you just alluded to, would you be pushing for a yes or a no on that?
I'd have to see the details of the referendum. We have not been privy to that at this moment. Anything that's going to damage rent control, I would not be in favor of. But it has to be fair on both sides. It's an equal balance, the renters and the landlord. And so I think a lot of times there are arguments on both sides of the equation that make sense, but I think sometimes one side doesn't get a fair shake sometimes.
All right. So I think we've talked pretty in depth about the race itself. Let's talk a little bit about the future now. So when you are sitting on the dais after you've been sworn in, what's maybe 2 or 3 priorities, like maybe the first resolution ordinance you'd like to put up once you're actually up there as the councilman?
I think one of the first ordinances I like to look at is maybe seeing if Hoboken can bring the Hatch Act in. So I don't want anybody that is political appointees to be involved in endorsing, because I think it puts the city at risk. We did have that around in this election time that it was a little concerning for me, but the Hatch Act exists on the federal and state level, and I have to look a little deeper into Hoboken, but I'd like to see something like that happen. That would be something that I'd look forward to, because I think it would actually help the town. It would clear some of the muddy waters, and it would be something that for future elections, I think would make them a bit cleaner.
So so hold municipal employees by the same standard as state and federal employees is basically what that would come down to.
Yes.
Okay, well, that would be a fun conversation with Corp Counsel and your colleagues, I'm sure.
Yes. Again, it's something that came up that I was a little concerned on one of the endorsements that my opponent received. I think it put some of our crucial employees in a really kind of weird position, and I never want to see that for city employees. I think we should back them 100% and make sure that their concerns are addressed.
Okay. Now, it's been less than 24 hours, but I'm going to ask you anyway. So what are you thinking about council president and vice president at this time? The rumor, again, it's still very early, but, we've heard Ruben Ramos, we've heard Mike Russo, Jen Giattino. Any thoughts, any ideas yet?
I think right now the only president that I know about is my wife, because I've got a honey to-do list. I'm kind of taking this a little bit and taking a couple days to myself. I only want to approach that thing. The one thing on my mind right now is that Zoom call, hopefully, about the Marine View Plaza rent hike. That's something that I want to put some time towards and make sure that we get that out in the community and we get that sorted. But overall, for that, I think that's a couple days down the road I'm going to have those discussions.
Fair enough. Now, Rebuild by Design came up in this election a little bit, and we know these Jersey City easements have been stalled for a couple years probably, and now Dawn Zimmer, of course, the former mayor, just sent a letter to the DEP and the Hoboken City Council. I believe you were CC'd. I didn't get to read it in detail, but I did take a glance at it. I don't know if you were able to, but what do you think about this situation and how it could be rectified?
Well, I think that if we need the governor to step in, I'm not a big fan of eminent domain, but that's been thrown around a bit. I'd like to know why we can sort things out quickly on one side, the north side of Hoboken, and the south side we struggle. I know it's another city that we're working with. If it's being held up for the accusations that are being made, I have a problem with that. Rebuild by Design is meant to protect Hoboken. It's meant to protect Hudson County. There's $400 or $500 million now put towards this. Let's get it going. There's jobs, there's everything else, but ultimately it's about protecting our town. Why are we holding back on that? So I think Mayor Zimmer has brought to light some things that not many people know about. Not many people know about Rebuilt by Design, what it's going to do for the town. Wait until that happens and then suddenly everybody will wake up. But we need to get this project rolling. There's no question about it. I believe that if there's something that was done or held up by Mayor Bala or from our mayor from our sister city, it should be addressed and it should be rectified quickly.
All right. So again, probably too early, but I'm going to ask you again anyway. You ready to endorse Congressman Menendez?
I think at this time, like I said, I need a week or two to just take some time away from politics. I've got to get the family. I just put the Christmas tree up. So, I got to decorate it with my son tonight. And those are the things I got to do in the house. We got to hang pictures. I got to do some other things. So right now it's family time and we can address that at a later date. How's that sound?
Sounds good, Paul. Thank you so much. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Hudson County View live and uncut. John R. Heinis. Couple more items before we let you guys go for this week. So let's talk a little bit about this pre-K funding in Jersey City. We could be looking at about a $3 million cut, and that's come to the attention of Hudson County Commissioner Bill O'Day. Of course, he's also running for Jersey City Mayor in 2025. So let's talk a little bit about what exactly is going on here. So first, there's a change.org petition that O'Day is spearheading. So let's look at what that says. If these funding guidelines are implemented now, it would cause irreparable harm to an early childhood system that is cited as the gold standard across the country. Many centers would be forced to close classrooms or even entire facilities. After struggling with the unprecedented difficulties and circumstances brought on by the pandemic, our early childhood education system does not need this burden placed upon it. The Abbott preschool program is required by law to offer high-quality preschool programs to fulfill its obligation per the School Funding Reform Act. This directive by the Department of Education flies in the face of the law. So, on that point, O'Day put up a county resolution urging the Department of Education not to slash any Jersey City pre-K funding. So, for the current fiscal year, the pre-K program received $71,206,864, and if these cuts went through, it would be about $3 million. And as of when I wrote this, I believe that was Monday, the online petition had 227 signatures, but O'Day said over 2,000 signatures have been collected. So I heard from the DOE on this, and they said basically they're going back to pre-COVID-19 funding. I'll let you guys read that for yourself. We're almost out of time, so just a fun one to close on. New York Giants quarterback Tommy DeVito hosted a party at Wicked Wolf in Hoboken on Thursday, and I know a few people that went and they had a great time. Long story short, it said tonight, December 2nd, we're throwing a party you cannot miss that is going to be hosted by New York Giants quarterback Tommy DeVito. Party starts at 9 p.m. tonight, so get here early to beat the line. Obviously, it was a packed house, and it sounds like, from people I know who were there, good times were had by all. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next week.
Thanks for watching Hudson Media Group. Follow us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.